Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. So I wanted to start the video off by first saying, please subscribe, like, and comment. Always helps the video get pushed out. I'm actually running right now, so if you guys hear me panting a little bit, it's actually just because I'm out here walking on the treadmill. Also, before I start the video, I do want to give a shout out to myself. Big shout out to the Patreon. We've had a lot of people join recently, and again, really, because and I mentioned this before to sorry. So I mentioned this before. I'm already building my website again. Already building it. The Patreon right now is about $10 a month. When the website is finished and when I migrate everything over from the Patreon to my website, the Patreon is gonna stay as a support page. If you guys still want to support me, just I'll still be throwing stuff in there and everything. But the website is actually going to be dedicated to all my strategies, all the indicators, everything that I know is essentially going to be migrated to the website. And that's actually going to be $750, a one-time fee or a one-time payment of $750 all the way up to $1,000, right? That's essentially it. If you guys want to get grandfathered in, everybody that's currently in the Patreon, they don't have to pay that $750. You'll automatically be grandfathered. You already have access to everything. And then what's it called? And then, we'll still have the chat open. So if people are asking for stuff, that'll obviously still be open for everybody, but everybody's already a current Patreon. You guys get everything for free already. Everybody who's barely coming in, if you guys don't want to, it's basically an opportunity cost for you guys. You guys either, join the Patreon for like $10 a month, or you guys have to pay like a $750 payment when I actually finish my website. So really it's more for an opportunity cost for everybody else. Again, this is me just being completely transparent, where I think that I've been underselling myself for the last 2 years or so. I'm pretty sure I've helped a lot of people, which is great. Everybody that's joined the Patreon, my Patreon members are doing fantastic. So, I always wish them all the best of luck, but I'm kind of, I'm not going to undersell myself, especially after everything's been so successful, right? So Patreon, $10 a month versus, my own website, which will eventually be, will be $750, a one-time $750 payment for all the new people joining, essentially. So with that being said, let's get on to the video. I do not think this plays out any other way. I don't think I need to do any TA. Yesterday's pump up was absolutely ridiculous. And again, this is actually a running theory of mine, right? So the only reason I actually think that we've been getting these ridiculous pumps to the upside is actually because the market makers are planning to just, absolutely crush the crap out of retail. And I think the crazy part is that we are going to see, a massive, massive dump very, very soon. I think these pushes to the upside are just continuous bull traps. And it just makes absolute sense to me, because a lot of people are expecting a huge breakout to the upside, and you just don't keep getting it. You keep hitting this 414, 415, 416 level, and you keep selling off extremely hard. This would now be the third time you're selling off from here. So, with that being said, you do have another fresh 8-hour trigger closing in 53 minutes, right? Another fresh perfect entry on the 4-hour, 53 minutes. The dollar consistently stays running to the upside. You just broke this major trend, this 4-hour, this blue line right here, right? You're starting to break this 4-hour. You're starting to break that trend that started essentially back in March 21st. Not only that, but the weekly is going to close bullish, and the 2-week, you actually have a bullish cancel on that 2-week. So I'm letting you guys know right now, this is the start of whatever's going to happen. And whatever's going to happen, it's downside, right? If we close this bear trigger, this perfect entry on the bear side for SPX, this is where the pain begins, right? This is where the real pain starts. So I'm letting you guys know right now, I personally think we have a lot of pain coming in the next couple of weeks. My target is still 385 for the SPX, maybe about a month out. I'm thinking by the end of May, early June, we're gonna get 385. When we hit 385, right, that's gonna be another place to reassess whether we're actually gonna bounce from there or we're gonna keep going lower. Because if we're dropping for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, right, not only are we getting super bearish on the weekly, but you're starting to see a consistent drop on this monthly chart. And once the monthly chart gives, right, that's when you start seeing real problems like this, which is what happened back here on the 2022 market, right? You had that huge drop. And again, same thing with COVID. Same thing back in 2018 when you drop massively. Again, that monthly chart, when it hits a bear trigger, it's an extremely massive signal. So I think we are headed there, to be honest. I think we're headed, towards closing another bear trigger on the monthly, which is going to be an absolutely painful road for a lot of people. So with that being said, I do think today we see absolutely nothing but this. We either bounce from this trend, which seems like the hour is already starting to look like it's going to bounce, but we either bounce back up here to like a 415, or you break trend, recover back to like 413, retest that underside of the trend, drop all the way down to 408. I personally think that second scenario is going to play out where we drop all the way down to 408, maybe within the next couple of days, but we'll see what happens. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.